Hello, everyone, and welcome to the player interview portion of this week's episode of the Marina, based on your Memphis Showboats. I am joined today for this interview by the awesome Juwan Washington, running back of your Memphis Showboats. How are we doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Uh, I would assume you are a little hungover, so to speak, from last night.
Oh yeah, it's all smiles. Around the way this way in Memphis. We had meetings today a little bit earlier, and everyone laughing and scratching, getting some things going. We're just excited to get that first win.
Oh, without a doubt. I bet the fan base was ready for that first win.
Oh yeah, it's been like a rough few weeks, but almost there last week, and to not finish it off at the end, they kind of took a toll on us. So to go out there and play the type of game we played this week was great all the way around. We played great in all three phases yesterday, so that was good for us to go out there and set the tone, and we can build on that momentum.
So, uh, can you could you really tell a difference inside the locker room between before this week and now?
Oh yeah, before it's all, there's no room for error. The small things become big things when you haven't won. So now it's just we see the potential that we have, and once we all play together and play the type of football that we've been trying to play here early on, to see it all come together, it was a big thing, and that gives everyone a big spark of energy. Everyone's playing together to get it all done and to see it come to fruition yesterday. That was great for the team.
What was the sense in the locker room last week? I mean, as you said, you guys were so close last week. You almost had it. And now to come out and I would basically say just throttle the
Hmm.
Michigan Panthers. Could you between week 2 and after last week, going into this week, could you sense a, like, shift in the locker room?
Oh yeah, even with me just getting here, I could sense it. Last week after the last week's game, it's just we go back and watch the film, we see all the plays out there that we could have made or we should have made to get to that next level. So in practice, that was the only thing we focused on all week is just the plays that we left out there that potentially could have helped us win that game last week. And I think this week going into it, everyone made those plays that were needed to make to win the game. Starting off with a big kick return by Kareth. That was big for us just to even start the game off with some momentum, and we just went from there. Special teams really played a big part in how we played the game yesterday, and it just everyone fueled off each other's energy, and we just kept it going.
So you as a football player, your journey's been kind of crazy.
Uh huh.
I feel like because I mean I know so I vaguely sort of remember you at San Diego State,
Hmm.
and then I was kind of doing a little research today, and uh, it's nothing against you, but it seemed like you just kind of fell off the map
Uh huh.
after you graduated, um, and then you popped up all of a sudden last year. What? Where did you go? What happened in the period?
So, when I came out, it was the whole COVID year thing, and everyone's looking for an opportunity to play in the NFL coming out of college. So that was my goal, and COVID kind of hindered that a little bit, not getting a chance to have a pro day and things like that. So I didn't get any opportunities NFL wise, and at that time, there were no other leagues. Things were kind of shaken up by COVID, at that point it was just NFL or nothing at that point. So it's just training. That's all. That's really what I was doing from that time. Just training, trying to stay ready, hoping for an opportunity, and eventually, things kind of slowed down as far as the NFL went. So I just, kind of moved forward a little bit, and I started coaching in Texas at my high school that I attended. So I was doing that, and then, hearing things in the wind with the USFL, the XFL, looking for those opportunities. And, I just kind of threw my name out there in the USFL draft, not really expecting much out of it, but Coach Haley, he gave me an opportunity to come play last year with the Bandits, and I was grateful for that opportunity. So, the USFL has done something for me that a lot of people can't do. Give me an opportunity. So I'm grateful for the USFL and glad to be here playing and represent them.
Um, what what kind of a coach is Haley like?
hmm I would say, he's a funny guy. He cracks jokes constantly. You can tell the thing about Coach Haley is you know when he's serious, but he at times, he's going to be joking around with you. He's not much of a I would say he's not is what everybody would assume him to be for just based off his past NFL experience and stuff. But we all enjoy Coach. He's been there for us since day one. He really enjoys being around us, and we enjoy being around him. But I feel like right now he's a player's coach. He listens, he takes in what we talk to him about, and at the same time he has his standards that he wants to set for us, and we all want to live up to those standards because he does care about us and he wants to take care of us. So the best thing for us to do is just take care of him and go out there and play hard.
So, what's the what's the running back room like? And I guess kind of um, do do you all get along? Is there any kind of tension in the running back room?
Oh no,
You don't have to go into like any detail, like oh, so and so he
no,
really
yeah.
so and so. Like I don't want you to throw anybody under the bus, but
Oh
I'm
no,
just
I wouldn't even be able to do that if I wanted to. We're all cool. Care who I call him K White, but me and K White we're pretty close. And when Alex was here, we were all close as well. But we just all want to see each other do good and succeed and stuff. Coming in, meeting everybody. It wasn't any tension or anything like that with me being new, but everybody was real accepting, and we just all want to see each other do well. I know me and KY, we're about to move into a place out here in Memphis together pretty soon. So we're excited about that. But we watch plays and we watch the things, and we just talk to each other. What we could have done in this situation or what we could see. But we always help each other out, and I think that's really good for us going forward.
so. What's I know we kind of touched on it, trying to
hmm
fill in the gap. What has your football journey to this point been like personally? And um, like I'm in Columbus, Ohio,
hmm
so big Ohio State's over
Yeah.
that way somewhere,
Yeah.
and they all say, "Well, it's a big university. You're gonna get lost in the student amount, and
Uh-huh.
you're not gonna get the help you need." Like, what is the campus like? Campus life like on campus, in class and outside of class?
At San Diego State. It was a surreal experience for me. Especially being on campus, um, coming from a small school in 4A in Texas. It was a big shock to me. Going on campus, seeing all those students, and going to the games. And seeing all the student support that we had, that was really great for me. But being on campus, sometimes people don't really, it's not like the big schools. If you don't really get noticed too much. Everyone will walk up and say, "Oh, you're on the football team," especially me being my size. I kind of blend in with all the regular students, so it wasn't much of that. But when it came down to it, and the sport support that we had, it was outstanding. And you could see that this year with the men's basketball making it to the NCAA championship, and just seeing all the support that they had. I'm sure they loved it. But yeah, it's real small and tight knit with a school like that, and everyone knows everybody, and you just kind of go with the flow with it.
So I don't know if this is kind of like favoritism, but
Mhm.
maybe I'm wrong. But
Uh-huh.
from what I remember from watching you a couple of times, because it is kind of hard to get West Coast games on out here.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You seem more to me like a speedster slash burst back,
Uh-huh.
where like if you get past the first level, you're gone. Kind
Hmm.
of like I vaguely remember. I think you broke a big one against BYU.
Hmm.
Um, do you feel like somebody that is kind of running back that you are um, helps with deciding who's going to be the starter, or do you think that most people prefer like a bruiser back, like 3 yards, cloud of dust, and just run, run, run?
Oh, I think it just depends on the system that the team has and how you fit in that system. I know San Diego State was a run heavy team, and it was all about opportunity there. So our coaches, one thing that I liked about Coach Horton, he didn't care, if you were a big guy, small guy, medium sized guy, if you could get in there and make the plays and keep the chains moving, then he would give you an opportunity. And I think that's pretty much the way everything's leaning these days now. With some guys getting opportunities that's smaller guys like me. You see Deuce Vaughn getting drafted to the Cowboys, and I'm excited to see him play because that's the first thing everyone looks at is the size. But after that, it's all football once you get that opportunity. So at the end of the day, if you're making those plays, it doesn't matter who you are at that point. So, if you get that opportunity and get out there and make plays, I think that's the most important thing.
For sure.
Mhm.
I think at least to get to camp, the more the merrier, I would think, and then
Mhm.
kind of weasel out who's better and who's not, and just
Oh yeah.
sorry if you're not as good, but
Oh yeah. Once you get past that, the hardest thing is getting the opportunity, and that's the biggest thing in the world we live in now. Like that's the most thing like in the football world now. Everyone talks about just getting the opportunity is the hardest part. Once you get that opportunity, it's all football from that point on. You just do what you do, and if you make those plays, then you hopefully stick around. Some things does have to happen. Sometimes it doesn't work out like you think it's gonna work out. Just numbers and things like that, but the best thing you can do is get an opportunity. So anytime someone wants to give me an opportunity, that's the thing I'm most thankful for because I know sometimes when I get that opportunity, I can take care of the rest. So that's all I'm looking for is an opportunity.
so I know he's seasoned,
Hmm.
but do you think that this is just kind of a generalization, but do you think that somebody like Ezekiel Elliott
Hmm.
gives um, running backs like a bad image where like he worked out and was training so he could get his bag or his money.
Hmm.
Then Dallas paid him and he just kind of flatlined, so to speak. I mean, I feel like maybe it's just my point of view, but I feel like that kind of gives the running back position kind of a bad image or a bad name. I know you can't really speak too much to it, but I mean,
I wouldn't say that. I think majority comes from. That's the thing about running back. Also, it depends on those guys up front. And the Cowboys deal with a lot of injuries up front, so I think that may have had a lot to do with it. But at the same time, taking those what they ask Zeke to do, that is a lot. It takes a lot on the running back. So just part of it could just be being banged up and being fresh and things like that. But who's to say what someone else will do as when they're in there? And I know a lot of times, like for instance, the way him and Tony Pollard, go hand in hand with each other. Sometimes just the way your style is of playing, defenses play you differently. So when Zeke's in the game, they're crowding that line of scrimmage. They're ready to come in and stop the run. So and when Tony Pollard is in there, he's also a pass catcher threat. So maybe they aren't crowding the line of scrimmage as much as they're doing with Zeke. They're not playing the run, not coming down as much. It just depends on things like that. But a lot of times, I think Zeke in the right system can have a great season. I don't think he's too old or not the same as what he was before. It's just all about, like I said, opportunity and getting those things. Just being in the system that knows how to use them. I would like him from to go back to the Cowboys. I watch the Cowboys a lot, being from Texas. So if they can work it out for him to be back, that would be pretty good with him, Deuce Vaughn, and Tony Pollard. That'd be a good little trio right there.
So, what is when you're lined up behind the quarterback
Hmm.
and they're going to hand you the ball? What is your vision like? Like, do you just give me the ball and I'm just going to go, or do you like get the ball, cut, wait for a hole to open, and cut back, go up the hole? Like, what's your vision process during the play where you're going to get the ball in a handoff?
So for me, it's pretty much knowing where the blocks are set up to be and where everyone's going. So just recognizing the play that's being called and knowing where your blocks are supposed to take you, and then it's just at that point reading the defense and kind of seeing where you can kind of anticipate what may happen based on the blocks that are supposed to happen and where the defense is lined up. And pretty much after that is just all reaction. Once the quarterback says Hutton and the ball snapped, it's pretty much reaction, because you never know how the play is going to end up. Somebody may shoot a gap and be somewhere that they weren't technically supposed to be when the play starts. And also, you got to think about is every team has assignment errors. So, not even just your offense, the defense may have an assignment error. Someone might be doing something that they aren't even supposed to be doing on defense and end up in a spot that you really aren't coached to for them to be, because they're just doing something they're not supposed to do at the time, or if they do it correctly, it's just all reaction from that point on. That's the greatest thing about playing running back, is majority of it is just reaction. So you don't have to have any set things that you're supposed to do once you get the ball.
So I guess as the team as a whole, do you feel like there's like a family camaraderie vibe? Like,
Oh
we're
yeah.
all one group, everybody gets held accountable. There's not really like
Hmm.
dogs barking back and forth at each other and like tension growing. It's all like we messed up here, here, and here. Here's who messed up. Everybody takes responsibility and we work to fix it.
Oh yeah, I definitely believe that. There's no finger pointing and anything like that. We're pretty much a tight knit group. Everyone talks to everyone. Everyone knows everyone on the team, and we're all bought into what we're trying to do. We all understand what we need to do to get there. So I think from this point going forward, we're going to see a different Showboat team, and I think we're all coming together to figure out what it's going to take to be in a run to make some things happen. Uh, at this point, the way it is, we can only just take care of ourselves. So if we just went out and get some big wins here later on and let everything else take care of itself, we'll just see where we end up at the end of the season.
Um, so what was there any like how you I know it wasn't much, but
Hmm.
I know you got to see what the Michigan Panthers defense was like.
Mhm.
Um, can you? I know it's technically pro ball or
Mhm.
pro football. Um, can you tell a difference between like Panthers defense and defenses that you went against in college?
Oh yeah. Actually, they had some guys. I played against Frank in college. He went to San Jose. Their Mike linebacker. But I think the biggest difference between college and the pro level is just, a lot of the guys are more instinctual, and more athletic, and but just the speed of the game. I think that's the biggest difference. The biggest difference is the speed of the game. It's at the end of the day, it's still football. A lot of guys are flying around making plays, doing things like that. But I think that's the majority of it is. But the biggest difference is the trenches. I think the O line and D line. That's the biggest difference I want to say from transferring to college and into the professional level. Is just the guys inside, because there's a huge size difference. In college sometimes you may get the guys that you have the guys that you have, but in professional, everyone's gonna meet the size criteria. There ain't too many guys that getting that's just undersized at that point. But yeah, in the inside, O line, D line, everyone's way bigger than what they normally are in college.
So I'm sure there's people out there that wonder, um, what is the what's the quarterbacks like?
Hmm.
We saw a big performance out of Kelly
Hmm.
last night. I think he did really good. He really improved since his week one performance against
Hmm.
Philadelphia.
Hmm.
Um, Why? Like, is there anything specific other than Brady White went to Memphis, like
Hmm.
university? He is the hometown guy.
Hmm.
Um, I guess why did it take Haley so long to come off of Brady White? Do you think? I don't know if you actually know why, but I mean, what do you think is why?
Me personally, I'm not sure why. Or anything like that. But like I said, it's all about opportunity. So when Cole did get the opportunity, he made some plays that's been keeping him in there. And as far as am I concerned, if he keeps making those plays, then I'm sure he will stay in there and keep getting those opportunities. So that's what this game is all about, opportunity. If you make enough plays, and once you get that chance, then you're more likely to get more plays. So you just have to take advantage of those plays. And when Cole did get that opportunity, for whatever reason he did, he made those plays to be able to stay in. And as far as it's been so far, he hasn't done anything for him not to get those opportunities since he's had them. So that's pretty much, from my standpoint, what I think it is. And if he's just keep making plays, you got to keep him in there so he can keep making more. So.
So, last last little bit here. Um, Next week, you guys go down to Birmingham and you get
Mhm.
ready to take on the New Orleans Breakers.
Oh yeah.
And we just saw New Orleans pull one out with the grit of their teeth against New
Mhm.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Um, do you I guess, what is roughly, I mean, don't divulge any secrets, of course, but
Mhm.
like, is your guys' what does your guys' week look like to get prepared for probably the best quarterback in the league in McLeod Bethel Thompson
Mhm.
and the Breakers? And then, like, do you I don't mean to sound negative when I say this, but do you think that the team has what they need to kinda turn the season around and start to get on a winning streak? And do you think the team currently where it stands is good enough to beat New Orleans. I mean, I thought at the beginning of the season with guys losing to Philadelphia by as little as you did,
Hmm.
that there's a lot of potential there. I thought
Yeah.
that from the jump,
Yeah.
but then things kind of happened, and I
Hmm.
want to talk about Birmingham because that's just
Yeah.
um. I mean, do you think that the team has kind of turned things around after the 0-3 start and this win yesterday to kind of gain momentum off of the win against Michigan? Or do you think, because I'm not saying specifically that it's me saying it, but there are people out there, I'm sure, that are like, well, it was Michigan. Michigan's
Yeah.
kind of on a downward trend right now.
Hmm.
Um, I guess kind of like calling it a fluke.
Yeah.
Do you think that the team has enough headed in the right direction where it's not going to be viewed as a fluke and the season can still be salvageable, as some would put it?
Oh yeah. The thing we talk about all the time is it doesn't matter who believes that we can win. As long as we believe it, we're the ones going out there playing. You know, as far as I'm concerned, we could beat anybody in this league. If you go out there and do all the things right in that day, you don't have to be the best team in the league on that day. You just have to be better than the team you're playing against. And the thing about this league, everyone can get beat by everyone at any given moment. As far as I'm concerned, no one thought we would win yesterday. I saw something where everyone picked us to lose. So anything can happen. As that's the good thing about leagues like this. Anything can happen. You know, and the best thing about it is when you're up, everyone's gonna be with you, and when you're down, everyone won't. Just like you said, Michigan is on a downward spiral. You said, if they would have beat us, it would have been a different story. Because they won some games already this year. So if they would have beat us, it would be a different story concerning them. So it's just everyone's going to have their opinions. You just got to go out there every weekend, be prepared to play and play the best that you can.
Okay, so kind of close this out here. Last thing I was kind of wondering, Memphis hasn't had a team since like 84, 85.
Hmm.
Um, have you just, when you're kind of out and about, since you got there, have you run into any fans? Have they like noticed that you are on the team or like asked if you were? And kind of like, what is the, like, do the fans kind of seem excited that the team is back
Oh
after
yeah.
like 40 years?
Yeah, I've had a few run-ins, just getting Ubers from to a few places here. I've talked to a few people driving me that's just been excited for the Memphis team to be back. And one thing about Memphis, they support their teams out here. And especially with us getting a win, I'm excited to see with us with how that's going to go. Even before the last home game we had against Houston was a great atmosphere there. So I'm excited to see. But yeah, going around, you're wearing your showboat stuff. It turns a few heads. So I'm excited to see, and a lot of people are excited for us to start doing well. So if we can just build off this momentum, I'm excited to see where it can go.
And then, so do you think that like you guys currently stand at 1-3? Do you think
Hmm.
that um, if you get further in the season and um, knock on wood that I don't jinx it by asking this, but do you think if your win number is down, that it's going to affect attendance, or do you think that there's enough, like as you said, enthusiasm within the fan base there that the attendance, no matter how the team is doing, attendance will still be pretty good? Um, just because Memphis is happy that the team is back.
Yeah, I would assume that we would have the attendance will be pretty decent regardless. Just by there isn't a football a professional football team here, and hasn't been in a while. So just people that who just enjoy being around football. I think there's a lot of those kind of people here now. But winning is always gonna be a big increase into to that. So I think if we can just go out there and handle our business and keep it exciting, play some exciting football that everyone wants to see, that'll be pretty good for attendance for us.
Absolutely. Well, um, good luck next week.
Hmm.
I'm sure the team as a whole is going to need it. It is the now 4-0 undefeated New Orleans Breakers in
Hmm.
Birmingham. So good luck next week. Good luck the rest of the season. I'm sure we will be excited to keep watching the Memphis Showboats. And just thank you so much for coming on.
I appreciate you having me. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right.